What's going on, everybody? This is Ray Hayes with Supplierty News. Hope everybody is having a good week thus far. I know I definitely am with the beautiful weather in Chicago. Been kind of great. No rain, just sunshine and a lot of wind. So it's been pretty good so far. That's so far with my week. But today I'm coming to you all again with a mini podcast. Please follow us on Twitter at GDN Network. Also, please like our Facebook page, Supplierty News. And we also just started posting articles on iTunes. So if you're if you like our podcast, please subscribe to our iTunes page. I'll add that to the description in the once I post the podcast. But I'll add the iTunes link to the description if you're interested in listening to us on iTunes, or if you interested in listening to us on SoundCloud. We have a SoundCloud page as well too, so I'll definitely add those as well. Today I'm coming to you all, just wanted to talk about my love for audiobooks. Yeah, audiobooks. Now, I don't have a problem as far as reading or anything, but when I'm traveling to and from work, I love to put my aux cord into the phone and listen to a good audiobook. Some of the best audio books I've read thus far, listened to thus far, are Queen Sugar, and right now I'm listening to American Gods, and it's absolutely amazing. The guy who's reading the book to me, actually, he does it in a way that just grabs your attention. He switches up his voice and he makes it interesting, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. American Gods has it also just came to the Stars Network. They made a TV show based on the book, and I checked it out today. It's pretty good. I saw the first episode. I'll check out the rest of the episodes probably later on this week. But it's really good thus far. But one thing I noticed is that for me, if I've read the audiobook or if I read the book prior to watching a TV show or movie, I kind of prefer the book and the audiobook over the movie. In general, the audiobook aren't usually just so much more. It's so much more detail to it. Like the Harry Potter books, there was more detail to it. There was more of a you can imagine things for yourself, and that's what made me so interested in the audiobooks and books in general. With the American Gods book I'm reading now, like I said, the guy who's reading the audiobook to you, he's amazing. It's simply amazing. But the writer himself, the details in the book engages you and makes you truly feel like you feel for Shadow. In the TV show, his name is Shadow Moon. Same thing in the book. It's just Shadow. I haven't heard the last name come up yet, but it's just Shadow for right now. But the character, the way he's able to just portray the character and just in words, it's just so vivid. It's and you can just imagine how Shadow is so, he describes him as a big guy, so you can just imagine, okay, this big guy going across town with Mr. Wednesday. I'm not going to throw any spoilers in there, so if you're interested in reading or watching the TV show, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but the way he describes it in the Shadow in the book is like, man, I'm ready to see this huge guy on the show, and which they did. They portrayed the character Shadow in a very good way. He is a big tall guy in the TV show, and he has that image of, okay, this is what the author was talking about when he wrote Shadow, when he wrote the character Shadow. But for me, I love a just good detailed book. I know, like I said, the movies and TV shows are great, but the idea of creating your own image of the characters in your own scenery or background, that's what makes it great for me. Recently, the author of All-Star Batman, it's a comic, and first of all, comics have that same appeal. They have, like, I've been listening to, what is it, Comics Explained, the YouTube channel, and the guy who does the channel, he's simply great. He breaks down almost every comic, or he explains every character, and he has images of the comic books on the screen, but he's giving you that's a snippet of what the comic book is about, or just a brief summary of what the comic book's about. But I absolutely love it. I don't even have to see the images. I just like the way he tells the story. But I know that's a little bit beside the point, but that's a little plug out there too. Go check out Comics Explained if you're interested in learning more about the upcoming Marvel movies or what's going on in the Marvel universe. Definitely check him out. He's fantastic. And he does more than Marvel. He does DC as well. But the reason I brought him up is because the All-Star Batman author recently sat down with the Salon, Salon.com, it's a website. He sat down with them and he talked about the fact that comic book writers have a talent. And I would consider it a God-given talent that allows them to tap into a society's collective subconscious. They're able to capture the psyche of the current age. For example, Captain America. Captain America, when he first came out, he was fighting Nazis. This was during the time of World War II. So it related to his comics. Not only were fun and okay, you had a superhero, but it related to the times. So what the author of the All-Star Batman, Scott Snyder, he sat down with the Salon and talked about politics, diversity, and comics in the Trump era. And I'm interested to see how will comics evolve within this era. I know the comic book authors have been tackling the idea of a diversity, and they've been adding more characters from different backgrounds as far as the LGBT community. You have Riri Williams, who was a new Iron Man, a black female. Ironheart, but she's still the new quote-unquote Iron Man still, but she's being referred to as Ironheart. But you have a lot of authors tackling the diversity and adding more characters, especially in the Marvel universe. So I'm interested to see how they will go about, or would they be willing to include stories about President Trump, how superheroes are fighting against Russian soldiers or Russian hackers. I wonder if they will go about evolving with the times. Would they start adding stories like that, where you have a certain superhero fighting against a cyber attack on the United States? Will that eventually start happening? Because, like I said, comic books capture the psyche of the age. I wonder if that will start happening. And if it has, please let me know. Please add in the comment. Let me know if you've read a comic book or anything that talks about these things or tries to add it to the kind of the storyline of a comic book or the Marvel Cinematic or DC Cinematic Universe. Just let me know. Please let me know, because I'm very interested in that. Not the biggest comic book fan, but Jamie and a few of the guys I work with, they've been getting me more and more interested in these stories. So, like I said, the storytellers of comic books are simply amazing. But not only comic books, you have just authors. Like I said, the author of American Gods, simply amazing. The author of Queen Sugar, simply amazing. Queen Sugar, that book made me want to just go about having my own sugarcane field. Like, seriously, I honestly wanted to have my own sugarcane field because it seems so fascinating to have something where you're growing it from scratch, but it's such a commodity in our society. Everyone loves sugar. It may not be good for us, but everyone loves it. And I would love to see it grow. Just growing in my backyard, or so to say. Right now I have a garden in my backyard, and I'm growing strawberries, pinto beans, and so forth like that. And I love to see those things like grow from a seed to an actual plant to an actual vegetable or a fruit. It simply amazes me. Like I said, Queen Sugar made me want to do that. Like, it simply made me want to do it. Looking at Charlie's story, it made me want to, okay, let me see how Charlie, what she really had to do. But at that note, I want to definitely going about saying thank you all for listening to the podcast. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment. Like I said, you can follow us on our social media platforms, and also the podcast will be on our iTunes page, our iTunes podcast page, and also on our SoundCloud page. So check us out on there if you're not listening to the record app or anything else, but check it out on there. Thank you all and have a good evening.